What up, fellas? It's Ty. Welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things prostate and prostate cancer related. So today I want to talk to you about a supplement that I found that worked for me. I'm very excited about it and I want to share. Before I get too far into it, I'm going to let you know again, I am not here to give you medical advice. If you have a medical issue, make sure you speak with your medical provider. And before you go doing any of this stuff that I did for me, even though it worked for me, make sure you consult your physician. Don't just go out there because it may or may not mess with some of the other medications that you're taking. And so it's very important that you tell them. Likewise, these supplements that I've also done my research on, it's important that if you are having a procedure, that you stop them a couple of weeks, and in some cases a month before that procedure. So you need to share if you decide to take any of the supplements that I have shared before, or the one that I'm sharing today. All right, so let's get into it. So for the new people here, one of the things that I always talk about is pumpkin seed oil. And the pumpkin seed oil, making sure that it's cold pressed. Now, cold pressed, from my understanding, is just making sure that more of the nutrients that are in the fruit or flowers or whatever it is gets into wherever it is you are trying to squeeze it out of and put it into. So with that in mind, I've been talking about pumpkin seed oil ridiculously every time I get a chance, right? Because it helps with any urinary issues that you're having down below. And so it can help with incontinence and some with erectile dysfunction, but it's just something that I continuously have taken, and it's helped a lot. Now, I will tell you some brands are better than others, so make sure that if you get one and if you are not experiencing anything before you throw it all away, try another brand, because I found a brand that works amazing. I just don't normally get into the brand thing in terms of this, because you could find another brand that works for you, and I don't want to just send you to one. All right, so that's the pumpkin seed oil. So the other day, I ran out. I went to the store. I'm looking for it. I'm like, I can't find it. And I'm hoping that it like materializes. So I'm going all around the store. So I go back one more time and look at the shelf. And dang it. So as I turn to look away, I see another little bottle. It's all by itself. It said pomegranate extract. And I was like, I've never heard of pomegranate extract. But again, if you've been watching the videos, you know that I've been drinking 100% pomegranate juice in my smoothies. And I had seen tremendous results in regards to urgency to go to the restroom and just feeling a feeling of well-being down below. I was like, man, this is really awesome. So when I saw the extract, I was like, I'm in here, I'm gonna buy it. I didn't know what it did. I just assumed that it did the exact same thing the 100% pomegranate juice would be doing. So I brought it home and started reading up on it. It was like, hey, has anti-inflammatory properties, and then it was talking about cancer and some other things. Then it started talking about its effects on urinary issues and how in some cases people were saying that it helped with erectile dysfunction, and others it was talking about urgency and incontinence and the fact that it had some purposes that it could help with that. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to try this. So I took it that night, and you're supposed to take it on an empty stomach. So that's what I did. I took mine on an empty stomach. Well, at night I took it on an empty stomach, and I woke up the next morning. So when I got out of the bed, I started walking around, and I started doing my little, like I'm an old guy getting out of the bed, creeping. But the thing was, my knees weren't hurting. So then I was like, okay. So I stood up. My back wasn't hurting, so I went, and I'm like looking for it. You know, when you're like, hold up. If this don't hurt, what's going on? So I started looking down. Nothing. So I started trying to figure out. I was like, well, what in the world's going on? So I go through the day, and you're supposed to I take one in the morning, and I take another capsule at the end of the day. All right. Now that one in the morning I do take on an empty stomach. I was trying to get to that earlier, but I take that one on an empty stomach in the morning. Right. So I went through. I took that again. And I was walking through, and I was like, man, I haven't gone to the restroom this morning. Like, I went to the restroom on like it was like a regular schedule. So I was drinking, and I was like, hold on, normally I have this urgency issue. So my incontinence issue isn't the leakage insofar as I have to go to the restroom a lot sometimes. It's like more than most people would have to go back and forth. And so I was like, man, I'm feeling decent. So I took it again the next day. It's helped a lot. Now, the thing is that down below you'll find that you kind of feel, it's almost like if you are in a situation where you kind of hear the lawnmower, you can't get it started, like you will just feel like it's something going on down there. It just feels, everything below feels natural. It doesn't feel like it's so I was like, okay, this works. What's the negative effect? I had no idea. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to introduce something that causes me to have this issue. Now, on that third day, I found my pumpkin seed oil. So I found it on the end of the second day. So the third day, when I took my pomegranate extract, I was like, okay, so I took the pomegranate extract, my bones were feeling better, I was standing up, I was walking around, and then one of the things that happened was that I decided to introduce things that had been causing me frequency issues. Now, it's dumb to do that, and you're sitting there thinking, it's like, you know what, you should really, you're feeling great, but I'm like, no, I need to know what happens when this, or what will press this so that it doesn't work as well. And so I did that, and I was drinking, I drink a cola in the morning. Sometimes if I drink it in the morning and I haven't eaten anything, it'll make me go to the restroom all day. So I would drink the cola, and then all of a sudden I was going back to the restroom. I was like, I knew this thing is not going to work. I know it's not going to work. And I was like, well, it was better than it normally is, but it wasn't 100% better. Remember, I could only take one in the morning and one at night. So it wasn't like I could take another one. But I was like, you know what? I have my pumpkin seed oil. So I took my pumpkin seed oil, and I was sitting in there, and I was working, and I was thinking, I got to go back to the restroom. No, I didn't. I didn't have to go back to the restroom. I went back to the restroom later on a regular schedule, but I did not. Those urgencies and all of those things that were going on stopped just like that. So I immediately came running back to the store. Asked them if they had some. No. Went to another store. Do they have any? No. Decided to look at some of the other stores. Tried to find it. No. I went online. Found one brand. I didn't know anything about that brand, so I wasn't buying it. I was trying to find anybody that was talking about pomegranate extract on a larger scale. Couldn't find that either. Now, I say that to you because as I continued to read, I found that the juice, so they prefer that you eat the pomegranate fruit and then the extract. The last thing they're saying that you will get some benefits from, but not even close to the real fruit or the extract, was the juice, which I had been drinking. So they was telling me that I was only getting a portion of what it is that I thought was going to actually work for me. Now, I am very excited about this, and I want to share. If you decide to do this on your own fruition. Do not do this because I've done it. I'm just telling you what worked for me because we are a community, and heck, I would hate for you to be sitting at home with the remedy that's available. Like I said, discuss it with your doctor if you want to take it. But as I've done my research, there's some things that I need to tell you. All right? So there are interactions with drugs, and they're specific to us because these are some of the things that we take. And the two that I want to talk about are sildenafil or tadalafil or Viagra Cialis, right? So if you take those things, the pomegranate extract has, I think it says some enzymes that are the same as grapefruit. Now, I'm sure you all know that grapefruit and those ED medications, it heightens the amount that's in there, right? So it could cause you some issues. So Viagra has it in there easily. Like don't do grapefruits. And I read today that Cialis had that in there. I'm not sure if that was official or not, but I actually looked out there and I saw it and I was like, look, I don't want to tell you all, and this is why I always say check with your doctor. I don't want to tell you to take something that is going to cause you an issue based on something else that you're taking. If you are taking Viagra, if you're taking that, if you take that in the morning, I'm not sure how it delays release through the day, but, you know, in my particular case, taking that, it didn't bother me, right? I take the 5 milligrams of Cialis per day, and it wasn't bothering me. So that, I'm like, okay, so when I took it at first, I didn't realize the two had an interaction. And so now that I know that, I'm like, I have not had any issues in regards to that. But I'm not telling you you won't. All right? I'm not telling you won't. So when you think about trying this, keep all of that in mind and just make sure that you check. Now, when I say that, because how much you're taking and how much I'm taking may be different. So it may or may not be that. So pomegranate extract, try it. See if it works for you. And if it works for you, put a thumbs up or let everybody know. Because like I said, if this is a simple solution to a big problem, I am all for simple. Hope this finds you well. Peace and blessings, fellas.